Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star Part 232 based on novel. So let's start. On the open-air square of the World of Glory, millions of heirs flipped through their black books frequently, viewing Luo Feng's combat records within the ranking of third-stage heirs. Today was the third day since Luo Feng commenced accepting his challenges. He had fought 2,700 battles. 2,682 wins, 18 losses, was his latest record. "Why is this Blade River Emperor so powerful?" asked one challenger. "It seems I am going to lose one of my glory points. I have always been very cautious when it comes to inviting others to fight in the battle world. I never choose anyone who ranks higher than me. I have tried my best to choose the weaker ones or someone on essentially the same level as me, at best. Thanks to my caution, I have collected 51 glory points till this day. Now, I'm going to lose a point just like that? At this speed, the Blade River Emperor must have collected plenty of glory points." "You don't say," said a great, sea monster-looking being with dozens of tentacles. He seemed rather bitter. "I think I am going to lose my glory point to Luo Feng as well. Who would have known that this human was so strong? Alas! The hundreds of thousands of inheritors that have challenged him to fight shall suffer great losses. Although I didn't challenge him, I could understand everyone's thinking," offered another. "How pleasant it would be to humiliate the legendary Blade River Emperor, who is such a powerful sector lord, even without any external assistance. He is absolute." Almost every conversation in the open-air square was about Blade River Emperor. The inheritors were incredibly irritated. Even as the heirs spoke, Luo Feng's winning rates went up sharply. 2,779 wins, 19 losses. 2,789 wins, 19 losses. 2,811 wins, 19 losses. 2,889 wins, 19 losses. The heirs, who had to fight so hard to gain one glory point, now felt rather embarrassed. If the Blade River Emperor had shown his strength in the world of battle from the beginning, never would so many heirs have sacrificed their glory points to challenge him. The heirs treasured their glory points dearly, but regret was futile. "Perhaps Blade River Emperor is just an outlier," said one heir, sighing deeply. "It's unusual to collect glory points in such a great amount. How could one ever hope to be like Luo Feng? Firstly, they would have to be famous among the billions of races in the universe. Few great beings had enjoyed fame to this extent. Secondly, they would have to be sector lords. Otherwise, the heirs of other races would not challenge them so readily. The heirs were not stupid, only when facing sector lord level heirs would these peerless talents believe they could win. In the history of the ancestral god school, Luo Feng was not the only sector lord who had arrived at the land of inheritance, but few sector lords had done this. Among these few sector lords, two were very famous, but neither had willpower as strong as Luo Feng's. After these battles, Luo Feng's strength had convinced numerous heirs on Bohinia Island. Without any external assistance, Luo Feng, as a sector lord, was able to stand on the peak of the third-stage fighters during combats in the battle world. Some superpowers of the universe had noticed Luo Feng long ago. Once a large number of challenges began, many heirs sent the information back to their clans. In front of the magnificent Sky Wolf Palace, roaring sounds trembled the entire area, which was filled with flames as large as fixed stars. "Kill! Kill! Kill!" The master of Sky Wolf's eyes were fraught with malice. The human, Blade River Emperor, must not live. Lurking among the void before Sky Wolf Palace, the giant snake Shadow was alarmed by Master of Sky Wolf's rage. His law comprehension is surprisingly strong to rank as one of the best among the third-stage heirs, Master of Sky Wolf roared. He can compare himself with innumerable peerless talents of diverse races. He must be about to fulfill the third stage of Beast God inheritance. And as far as law comprehension, he is also close to that of Universe Knights. As long as he wants to, he can become an undying fighter at any time, continued Master of Sky Wolf. Once he has become undying, coupled with his plentiful glory points, his alarming amount of inheritance opportunities from the ancestral god school, plus with his comprehension, which is very close to that of universe knights, it would be a simple matter for him to become a universe knight. Then it will be difficult to have him killed. Master of Skywolf issued an order. Hurry up. Devise a plan and report it to me. We must kill this human quickly. Right, the giant snake shadow bowed and said respectfully. Suddenly, Master of Skywolf's green eyes shot out two green rays, landing on the giant snake shadow. Go, he said. Boom. Removed from this time-space, the giant snake shadow arrived at a time-space beyond Skywolf Palace's control. Then it teleported and vanished. Human, grumbled Master of Skywolf as he stood before the palace. His green eyes were constantly flickering with the intention to kill. Among the universe masters of the demon clans, Master of Skywolf was surely one of the most cunning and cruel. When I saw Blade River Emperor before, I didn't take him seriously because he was just an insignificant sector lord. Unexpectedly, he can still defeat most of the heirs in the battle world, even without the help of many treasures from the outside world. His lore comprehension is amazingly insightful. If he is assisted by a large number of inheritance opportunities. Master of Skywolf now deemed Blade River Emperor a major threat to demons in the future. In the mysterious and desolate star domain. In the void, a black ripple expanded outwards in concentric circles. At the core of the black ripple was an enormous black throne standing tens of thousands of miles tall. At the top of the back of the throne, 18 golden skulls of various races were embedded. The black throne was at the core of the endless black ripple that covered billions of miles of the void. Anyone looking upon this throne might have mistaken it for an endless sea of blood, with its 18 embedded golden skulls howling at all times. Master. A great being with 9 scorpion tails lay on the verge of the ripple. Its voice penetrated the ripple. Here is the news from our clan's heirs in the ancestral god school. The human, Blade River Emperor, has agreed to engage in hundreds of thousands of fights. Currently, he has only lost 19 out of 2,781 battles. He is, without a doubt, the best of the best Emperor Undying level inheritors on Bohemia Island. And it is predicted that he will be able to exchange his points for a surprising amount of inheritance opportunities. It is highly possible that he will become a universe knight in the future. Ha ha. Soul-penetrating laughter was heard from the black throne, causing the previously calm time-space to tremble and stirring up a black wave, as if innumerable black dragons were chasing one another and wandering in the void. A peerless talent has emerged from the human race, said the voice, and he is about to become a peerless great being. It is not us, the prison clan, but the human race's neighbors, the automaton race, demon race and bug clan, who are most anxious about this situation. Ha ha. Just wait and see. The assassination attempts targeting this human peerless talent are about to begin. I look forward to seeing whether this human will become a peerless great being after the brutal obstacles, or fail miserably along the way. Ha ha. Go. Go. The laughter from the black throne echoed in the time-space. At the end of the black wave, the great being with 9 scorpion tails bowed and vanished. The creatures of the prison race, one of the 6 pinnacle races, had their roots in a peculiarly dangerous place of the universe, but they had survived the perilous place and made a name for themselves. The physiques, appearances, and the life essences of these prison race great beings varied. Some were rock creatures while others were made of flesh and blood. But they shared one thing in common. They were all born in that peculiarly dangerous place. A place that they called prison, from which they took their name. Forged by numerous crystals, a cluster of magnificent palaces covered a region in several light years. Within the cluster of crystal palaces, planets, fixed stars, and neutron stars were like ornaments embedded everywhere. A high tower among the palaces stood 3.2 light-years tall. Its razor-sharp spire shot a bright ray upward into the depths of the boundless, starry sky. Everywhere this ray traveled, a hole would be pierced on any planet or fixed star. The power of this ray could reach almost the entire star field before it completely declined. Many great beings resided within the cluster of palaces. In front of the tower, 2 universe knights stood guard. They had impeccable appearances and perfect bodies forged by crystals. Their heights were almost the same, and they both wore dark green ancient armor that emitted formidable force. Between their eyebrows, they both had a golden eye issuing invisible waves in all directions and supervising the vast areas around the high tower. Inside the tower. "My lord, that is how the situation is," a great being said, kneeling in the hall. Above the hall stood a great being with a gleaming, crystal-cast godly body, dressed in a resplendent golden robe. As the golden eye between his eyebrows gazed below, it seemed that the heart of the universe night below was pierced through. "How interesting," said the great being, and though the voice was gentle, it possessed a persuasive power. "The human race usually wins due to their large population, and every human possesses tremendous potential. How unexpected that such a talent has emerged among them. Issue my order that the human, Blade River Emperor, has been listed as an invincible level creature of another race." "Yes, my lord." Powerhouses of the universe including as the 6 pinnacle races, the Space Beast Alliances, and the Northern Border Alliances had all received the news. At the summit of Thunder Island in the virtual universe was the Palace of Primal Chaos Energy. A blurry phantom stood before the palace. And then, he walked into the center of the hall and said respectfully, "Primal Chaos City Leader, assassination attempts against Luo Feng are almost a certainty. How should we handle this operation? Please give us your instructions." "Assassinations," said the voice of the Primal Chaos City Leader. "Shadow, how can you be so sure?" Startled, the blurry phantom said, "Blade River Emperor has agreed to fight over 620,000 battles. And don't you know about the results of his latest 3,000 battles? I sent you messages long ago. Luo Feng has accepted 620,000 battles." The figure dressed in golden globe walked out from the Primal Chaos Energy. It was the Primal Chaos City Leader. As he touched the void slightly, 3 messages fell one by one. Obviously, he had read none of the messages the Shadow Emperor had sent him. Primal Chaos City Leader had an extremely high status both within the human race and the Hong Alliance, so lots of issues would go to the City Leader directly through virtual messages. However, there were different classifications of mail, and the leader would only read the urgent mail. Under ordinary circumstances, the leader would read them when he was free. Shadow Emperor was in charge of the intelligence department of the Virtual Universe Company and the Hong Alliance. He was one of the universe overlords. The news of Luo Feng, as in Blade River Emperor, was known by the seniors of the human race. Shadow Emperor, of course, also knew about it. "What?" Primal Chaos City Leader said in surprise, holding the messages. "He won 2,979 times out of 3,000 battles." "Yes, Primal Chaos City Leader," Shadow Emperor said with veneration. "I didn't expect him to achieve that." Primal Chaos City Leader was indeed thrilled. The top ones out of the 90 million heirs were all equals. Luo Feng could either win or lose when he was fighting his rivals. Luo Feng has a bright future ahead of him. Shadow Emperor, who was in charge of Hong Alliance Intelligence Department and known for his indifference and eerie presence, smiled. "Ha ha. More than 26,000 battles." The Primal Chaos City Leader laughed, and his voice echoed in the palace. "If he keeps the winning rate, God knows how many glory points he will earn. He can trade 100 glory points for 1 inheritance, and he can get numerous inheritances. The ancestral God School might cultivate a supreme being of our human race this time." No one doubted that even the demon race, prison race, and other superpowers in the universe thought that if nobody stopped Blade River Emperor, he would grow to be a supreme being of the human race. A terrifying creature? Nobody could tell how long that would take. That was why they needed to kill him before he reached that stage. Primal Chaos City Leader, not only could Luo Feng earn a great many inheritances with such a winning rate, but he also shows how deep his comprehension of laws is, Shadow Emperor said with a slight bow. The bug race, the demon race, and the automaton race will no doubt try to assassinate him in the near future, before Luo Feng can become a universe knight. City Leader, what should we do about it? Assassinate him? Primal Chaos City Leader nodded and said, the demon race, the bug race, and the automaton race have all sorts of methods to do that. However, my disciple is now in the ancestral god school, and they can do virtually nothing about it. The only feasible way for them is to ask the powerful heirs to kill Luo Feng. Yes. Shadow Emperor nodded. The ancestral god school could not be infiltrated. Peak races like the demon race would rather Luo Feng became a supreme being than risk sending someone to trespass there. I'll deal with it, the primal chaos city leader said. And have some faith in my disciple. I'll leave now. Shadow Emperor bowed. Go? Primal Chaos City leader nodded. Shadow Emperor had become the person in charge of the intelligence department of the Hong Alliance because he was from the Virtual Universe Company. The Virtual Universe's terrific efficiency of information sharing attracted the other races in the universe to place spies within it and classified communications methods, even though they were often cracked and cost the other races dearly. That was why he had become the person in charge of the intelligence department of the Hong Alliance so quickly after being in charge of the intelligence department of the Virtual Universe. His power was so enormous that it could rival the sum of the palace leaders within the Hong Alliance. The bug race, the demon race, and the automaton race had stopped observing. The bug race had already come up with a plan to commit the assassination of Luo Feng. Inside the virtual universe of the bug race, surrounded the endless clouds and mist, was a beautiful floating island. There lived one bug clan queen after another, all of them with beautiful wings resembling butterflies and transparent bodies like crystals. As they played, their figures were so breathtaking that other creatures could not help but want to protect them. Look, it's one of the other races, said one of the queens. It's Kong Wan clan from our bug race alliance, said another. The bug clan queens looked at a figure with prominent cuticles wearing a mask. Dressed in ancient black armor, the powerful warrior from the Kong Wan clan arrived at the center of the island in no time. On the island stood a palace made of wood. The door opened, and the masked warrior of the Kong Wan clan walked in without being stopped by the guards. Greetings, Universe Master, from Ju Guang of Kong Wan clan, said the masked figure with a bow. On the wooden throne in the palace sat a beautiful creature that could mesmerize even the most powerful souls. A colorful mist surrounded her. Ju Guang Knight, she said. Her voice was clear and melodious. Do you know what I want you to do for me? I do, Ju Guang Knight answered with veneration. Do you have anything to say? The one sitting on the throne asked. Universe Master chose me because, firstly, I'm an heir, Ju Guang Knight said. Secondly, I've decided to give up on the beast god path because I didn't make enough improvements, and I'm planning to follow the path of space and time. Thirdly, I have my alternative bodies. And finally, as one of the Kong Wan clan, I'm proficient in mind control. It'll be most cost-effective for me to assassinate Blade River Emperor. Yes, you are indeed the most suitable one out of everyone in Bug Race Alliance, said the creature on the throne. However, you shall pay a huge price. Losing one of the bodies of a Universe Knight will cost you dearly. Besides, you'll lose the opportunity to inherit and step into the ancestral god school forever. Ju Guang Knight stood still, listening respectfully. The Alliance will compensate you for everything you'll lose, the beautiful creature said. Do you have any idea how you will assassinate him? Based on what I know, Blade River Emperor has been accepting challenges, and he stays in his palace the rest of the time, Ju Guang Knight said. An heir has absolute control over its own palace. If anyone dares to trespass, the five-color Aurora Lake will attack the trespasser and kill it instantly. I can only wait for the human to step out. Will you lure him out? Asked the creature on the throne. The most tedious way, but also the best way, is simply to wait for the human to step out, Ju Guang Knight said respectfully. The beautiful creature looked down at Ju Guang Knight and smiled. You are calm. However, I have to remind you that you had better utilize mind control over Blade River Emperor. Once you take his mind, the humans might turn back time and resurrect him. Of course, you can also choose to kill him directly if you can't control his mind. Yes, Ju Guang Knight answered respectfully. Bohemia Island. Ju Guang Knight walked slowly while all the other heirs tried to keep their distance from him, showing respect for a Universe Knight, who demanded deference. Ju Guang Knight was pleased by this. However, He frowned when he saw the distant palace resembling Earth's Jiangnan. I'm a universe knight here, he said. However, to creatures in my clan and the Bug Race Alliance, I'm nothing compared to that human. The only way to kill Blade River Emperor is to allow myself to be killed by the five-color Aurora Lake. The most terrifying proposition is to then be confined to living a secret life ever after, or being confined only to the territory of Bug Race, otherwise, the human race will kill me to revenge their peerless talent. Pathetic. Zhu Guang Knight felt helpless and hopeless. Even his clan couldn't resist the order of the Bug Race, let alone him. Perhaps he was indeed powerful on an individual level, but he was nothing compared to the peak creatures of the universe. 2 days later, the shadowy, snake-like creature stood at the peak of a mountain and looked down. Sacrifice myself to kill him. Master of Skywolf promised to bring me back by reserving the time. However, I will lose the opportunity to follow the beast god path forever even if I'm resurrected. Also, I'll be hunted until the end of time by the human race. He could practically still hear the roaring of the Master of Skywolf. Kill him. The automaton race, the demon race, and the bug race had all sent their powerful ones. However, they had all sent knights of other races rather than those from their own races. They had to pay the other races rather than be too tyrannical in their demands. That was the price of preserving the alliance. Time passed, and Luo Feng continued to fight 1,000 battles a day, as was his routine. The demon race, the bug race, and the automaton race all awaiting the good news. They all knew that humans had already perceived that they would try to assassinate Luo Feng. However, they thought that unless Blade River Emperor hid in his palace or was guarded by a universe knight every time he stepped out of his palace, someone would surely make good on the first chance to kill him. Rumble. In the world of battle, Luo Feng, clothed in black armor, flew above a city in ruins. He had black wings on his back, and as he waved his hands, 600 golden balls flew back. After almost 2 years and more than 620,000 battles, Luo Feng had finally finished them all. All the battles are finished, Luo Feng whispered as he looked at the waves of godly power afar. On Bohinia Island, there were plenty of palaces for the heirs from different races. Several thousand miles away from Luo Feng's mansion, there was an ancient mansion like a massive dead tree, which was the residence for an emperor-level heir from the Bug clan. On top of the manor, the Universe Knight stood silently. Orders from the Alliance, said the Light Perception Knight to the Emperor-level heir. I am to stay at your palace temporarily, and you must not divulge this information. Yes, the heir replied respectfully. Knight, if you want me to do anything for you, please tell me. I will be in the silent room. All right. Off you go. The Light Perception Knight nodded. After the heir left, the Light Perception Knight was the only one on the top floor. Sitting with his legs crossed, he looked over the railings at the space before Blade River Emperor's mansion in the distance. Although the Bug Clan Alliance has nearly 10,000 heirs on Bohinia Island, only a few dozen of them can see Blade River Emperor's mansion clearly from their dwellings, Light Perception Knight said to himself. This is the only way to watch over him. Once Blade River Emperor comes out, I can spot him. Today, his battles come to an end. He will probably come out. Light Perception Knight stared at Luo Feng's mansion. In total, 626,183 heirs had challenged Luo Feng. Only days after Luo Feng commenced his battles, various clans had contacted each other and confirmed that this was the correct number. As Luo Feng fought 1,000 battles every day, today was the day he was scheduled to finish all the battles. With a bit of his consciousness connecting to the world of glory, Light Perception Knight looked at Luo Feng's ever-changing battle records in the Black Book. The last 32 battles, he muttered. At the thought of Luo Feng's formidable battle records, Light Perception Knight couldn't help but have mixed feelings. The tremendous number of glory points owned by Luo Feng was simply unbelievable, rendering Light Perception Knight envious. Prior to Blade River Emperor, no others had ever gained this many glory points. If the rest of the great beings knew that you were so powerful, they wouldn't challenge you unless they were confident enough to win, Light Perception Knight said to himself. If I could possess these glory points, I might have the chance to become a universe overlord. He checked the book again. All the battles have concluded. With his eyes lit up, Light Perception Knight stared at Luo Feng's mansion more intensively. Apart from the 3 knights sent from the Automaton clan, the Bug clan, and the Demon clan, several great beings from other powerhouses were also watching silently. Though they did not step in, they didn't mind viewing a significant battle. Those powerhouses had already speculated that the 3 pinnacle races adjacent to the human race would not allow Blade River Emperor to continue growing stronger. Only the toughest side would survive this battle. Everyone was waiting silently. 1 hour went by. Then 2 hours. Then 3 hours. Including the Light Perception Knight, the 3 knights were hidden in 3 different places where they could observe Blade River Emperor's mansion. All of them waited patiently, including the great beings of the other powerhouses. Perhaps Blade River Emperor is tired after fighting continuously for so long. He will probably come out soon. A day went by. Then 2 days. Then 3 days. Finally, the Universe Knights and Emperor-level heirs that had been continuously staring at Luo Feng's mansion became a bit restless. Is Blade River Emperor going to hide in his mansion forever? They wondered. But he must go out to accept his inheritances at the inheritance passageway before the palace of Bolhinia Island, right? The other clans were quite bewildered. But the fact was, Luo Feng had never come out. The virtual universe, the 9-star bay of Black Dragon Mountain. For the past few days, Luo Feng had done nothing but spend time with his family. Although he was insanely persistent about his cultivation, he could not neglect his family, and he admitted that he owed them a lot. "Dad, you know what," said Luo Ping with a laugh. "Younger brother caused big troubles while adventuring in the universe. But what's amazing was that the sovereign of Ganwu, the most powerful being in the Ganwu universe, saved him." Xu couldn't help but say, "Luo Feng, discipline your son. He indeed has made a mess this time." "What's the matter?" Luo Feng looked at his son, Luo Hai, curiously. "Nothing," said Luo Hai. "I just wanted to make a name for myself with my strength without showing off my identity while adventuring in the universe. And then I pissed someone off." Luo Hai pursed his lips. He was very arrogant because he had an undying level emperor teacher. "So what? My dad is the disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader. Why should I be afraid of that douchebag?" "So, you guys fought?" Luo Feng also smiled. Luo Hai nodded. "Yes. That idiot was barely able to beat me, all right?" However, his undying level emperor teacher showed up in the end. Furiously, he attacked me, and the plants that I brought with me were no match for him. Because I was adventuring with my friends from Ganwu, the news that we got involved in a fight with that douchebag traveled back to Ganwu swiftly. Unexpectedly, the sovereign of Ganwu showed up in person and protected us. Luo Feng was a bit surprised that, over the course of 10,000 years, his son had, for the first time, provoked a great being who was an undying level emperor. "Be more cautious next time," said Luo Feng. Since his son Luo Hai wanted to follow his path and become a great being, it was expected that he would encounter some dangers and setbacks. All his son could do was remain alert. "Luo Feng, the sovereign of Ganwu, has treated our family well," said Xu. "Not only did he save Luo Hai a few years ago, but he also bestowed us a large patch of territories as big as 12 starfields a year ago. What's more, those territories were the 12 starfields around our hometown, Black Dragon Mountain Starfield. The royals of the Ganwu universe were the ones who had made such an arrangement to compensate the royals of those 12 starfields." "A year ago?" Luo Feng was a bit startled. At that time, he had been halfway through his battles against the 620,000 heirs. "It seems that the sovereign of Ganwu is well informed," said Luo Feng to himself. Without visiting Luo Feng, the Ganwu emperor had quietly helped the Luo family time and again, and had even saved Luo Feng's son Luo Hai. Usually, the Ganwu emperor would not know about such a triviality as Luo Hai and his friends being in danger. Apparently, the Ganwu emperor must have instructed that any information about Luo Hai be delivered to him directly. That was the only explanation for why the Ganwu emperor could arrive at the battlefield so swiftly. "Emperor of Ganwu, I will remember your favor," Luo Feng said to himself. 9 days had passed since Luo Feng had finished his battles. On Bohinia Island, the great beings of the various races that wanted to kill Luo Feng were still waiting patiently for him to come out. Luo Feng's mansion, in a pavilion close to a lake. Filled with enormous pride, Luo Feng held a wine glass and said to himself, 621,081 wins and 5,102 losses. Over 610,000 glory points. With every 100 glory points, I can exchange for 1 inheritance opportunity. Ha ha! Those heirs of other clans plan to humiliate me, but it is I who have benefited significantly. Every single one of my 620,000 or so rivals were peerless talents, but only 6 were undoubtedly stronger than me. Though plenty other rivals defeated me, they got lucky, just as I was lucky enough to beat other heirs. In respect to accumulated points, Luo Feng ranked first. After all, his 621,081 wins were an impressive feat. The great being who ranked second only had 9,822 wins. In terms of win-loss ratio, this runner-up, who had won 9,822 times and lost only 3 times, was far better than Luo Feng. In summary, 6 of the 9 most potent third-stage heirs had battled against Luo Feng. Besides that, nearly 10,000 heirs whose power had been on the same level as Luo Feng had fought him. After so many battles, I have gained more comprehension about the Tao of Beast God. Nevertheless, there's no rush for me to accept my inheritances, for it's only been 2 years since my last inheritance. I need to concentrate on internalizing the experience I have gained from these 620,000 battles before I receive the inheritances. Through this opportunity, I should completely understand the third stage inheritance. After that, I can set out to search for the special life suitable for my third body. Luo Feng had made detailed plans a long time ago and couldn't afford any sloppiness. Without any hesitation, Luo Feng sat with his legs crossed and started to study the Tao of Beast God above the pavilion near a lake. On Bohinia Island, Light Perception Knight and the other 2 knights still waited anxiously for Luo Feng to appear. The heirs from other powerhouses had already given up. Many of them cursed Luo Feng secretly. He has been hiding in his house without going out, they said. What a hideous and spineless human. But with so many glory points, how could you not go to the land of inheritance? 1 year passed. Then 2 years. 3 years. 100 years. 200 years. 300 years. In the beginning, the Light Perception Knight observed Luo Feng's mansion with his full attention for 3 years. He also cursed him secretly. Later, as he started to cultivate, he only used a bit of his consciousness to watch over Luo Feng and didn't bother to curse the human anymore. As time went by, the Light Perception Knight brought out an intelligent robot and opted to let the robot supervise Luo Feng's mansion. He didn't want to watch Luo Feng's dwelling place any longer. Just wait, he muttered. One day, you will go to receive inheritances, and I'll be waiting for you. Light Perception Knight had no other option but to wait. In a blink of an eye, 900 years had passed. Well? 900 years of contemplation, Luo Feng said joyfully. Those 620,000 battles were especially beneficial to me. I have achieved amazing progress in space law comprehension and beast god conception. And I am close to fulfilling the third stage of the Tao of Beast God. Luo Feng had been cultivating the law of the fusion of space and gold. By comprehending fusion, Luo Feng had also gained more insights about space. Now, both my original Earthling body and my Golden Horned Beast second body can teleport, he thought. But I still need to comprehend the other 2 major aspects regarding space law. Suddenly, Luo Feng stood up. Time to go out. If I go to receive inheritances now, I believe that I can fulfill my third volume right away. Luo Feng looked at the gate to his mansion in the distance. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Moments later. Amid the silence, Luo Feng pulled open his mansion's gate, which issued a squeaking sound, and walked out with a smile. At this time, no heirs were personally watching Luo Feng's residence. Even the 3 universe knights had arranged robots or slaves to do their job, who now reported the news. My lord, the door is open. My lord, Blade River Emperor has come out. My lord, he is here. With a great shudder, the 3 universe knights in 3 dwellings on Bohinia Island woke up. In an instant, several other heirs who had also sent out slaves or robots to monitor Blade River Emperor's mansion were on the move as well. This video will end here.